Good morning. I want to briefly show you a couple of topic proposals, which are due today, Sunday, and a couple of sample proposals. So what I have here is a topic proposal from a team. Their subject is the gentrification of Austin's East Side. And in their letter, they're writing to me and telling me what they want to use the mini grant of $5,000 for. And I'll just read real quickly. The grant would be used to conduct research on the gentrification of Austin's East Side, which has endured a drastic change throughout time. According to POV, and they're bringing a little research to support why this project is relevant. Then they go on to tell me about who their team is composed of. They list each person, their major, and the intention for that is to show how the composition of this team relates to this particular project. And then they go on to explain why we chose this topic, because we thought it'd be interesting to see how the area where we attend school has changed due to gentrification. Some have been in Austin their entire lives and watched the transformation, and so on and so forth. And then they go on to further explain the relevance. Here's a second one. This one, and do you notice how they begin their letter by stating what they're requesting? And so, as I've said a couple of times in some of my reviews of your work, you want to make sure, especially in professional writing documents, that you get straight to the point. We are requesting approval to move forward with our idea to create an 8-week summer program on entrepreneurship for 25 students at Blackshear Elementary School. During the summer program, 25 HT business and communication majors will partner with the students while they learn the basics of creating their own business through lessons from guest speakers, online games, and so on and so forth. They go on to just kind of briefly say how they'll use that money and identifying, the amount that they're requesting. Then they explain why they chose this idea. So this, again, identifies significance, how the program will benefit the university, and then who their team consists of, and brief information about each of them. And then they conclude with, as a team, we share a passion to work with people, empowering them to be successful, educated, and so on and so forth. And so what you want to just remember is that even when you're writing your topic proposal, that first letter, you're making an argument. And the same thing for your proposal, because you're competing against others in order to receive this money. Here's a sample annotated bibliography that's due with your topic proposal today. So listing, they use MLA, but properly listing your sources and including a short annotation of each. And so remember, in your annotations, you want to, for the most part, identify what the main points are in the reading and the significance to what you're proposing. And I've got 2 quick proposals I'll show you. Alright, so this one is called PrEP, Pre-Exposure Prophylaxis. And then here they define it, a new HIV prevention method in which people who do not have an HIV infection can take a pill daily to reduce their risk of becoming infected. Table of content. Okay, so they have their cover letter here. And the cover letter is different than the topic proposal. Some of the information may be the same, but again, think about the purpose. How does the purpose in your cover letter differ from the purpose in your topic proposal? Statement of faculty support. Their abstract, including key concepts. A narrative. And if you notice here, they bring in a lot of the research that they found. And so in your narrative, this is where you want to do that, because you want to show that there is a need for the project you're proposing, that it is important and significant. Their objective, and so their project was broken into 3 parts: engage, educate, and facilitate. The goals of their project, importance, their methodology, which is essentially these 3 things. And even though I gave you a layout for creating your proposal, if you want to veer away from that a little bit, you can. Selection process, they include a table of their timeline. Plan to disseminate to the university, meaning how are you going to get this information out? So the university is going to give you this information. Once you do your research, how are you going to get the information out? Here's their budget, and then here's a visual and a budget narrative, and then annotated bit at the end. And then let me show you one other example. This is the overpopulation project. All right, again, we have our table of contents. Now, for this class, actually, we did something a little different. And I had them actually went to the grants library and they found an actual grant out there. And so this particular grant was from the United States Agency for International Development. And so that's why this letter is being written to them. Okay, so upon learning more about your mission, it's an honor to learn that you're seeking grant proposals related to yada yada yada, as biology, history, and education majors. Our research has led to a concern about overpopulation as a global problem. Also in this class, I had them focus on an issue that was a global problem. So we would like to create and implement the overpopulation project on our college campus. And then they go on and tell about HT. And so you see how when the audience changes, it changes, the content of what you write. And so in the previous one, there was no need to talk about who HT is, because the grant, the request for proposal came from HT. Okay, and then bulleted list of, why it's important, and so on and so forth. And then we go into their abstract and their introduction, their statement of need. Now, because they went out and found another request for proposal, that request for proposal asked for a particular thing. So you'll see here that theirs looks a little different than what I'm asking for, or what HT is asking for, because this is a different request for proposal. Visuals, you want to include visuals, have them. You may want to even go out and do primary research on your own, depending on what you're proposing. Maybe you want to conduct a survey among HT students. You could talk about that data as well as present it visually. And again, just giving extensive, researched information about why there's a need, what the problem is. Okay. And then the objectives of the program. So, very involved with the community. We'd like to get more involved. In doing so, we'll be bringing awareness and proposing solutions to the global issue. Their program will do these particular things. Here's their method. Their project is called Be Enlightened. And it's basically just bringing knowledge to the Austin area about this overpopulation concern in China and how they're dealing with it. Okay, and their budget. And their work site. Alright, so I hope that helps as you are working on your drafts. I'll be reading your topic proposals tomorrow and getting feedback to you. Alright, let me know if you have any questions. Bye.